Hello everyone, it is me once again. And the end up saying one now is I know the Afghanistan Pakistan thing is in ceasefire as I know one now. Here's the thing one now. I kind of figure out what's going on right now. Here's the thing one now. Here's it comes to two different sides of the view. They kind of make sense one now. This is different than any type of wars that they had seen in history within any type of plans at this point because I don't know, this plan is a little bit more different and a little bit more complex of some sort. Yeah, the earlier video today that's supposed to stream on YouTube of some sort, as you know, just became corrupted. And I found out that corrupted videos it seemed like out of date to the end of my official wording for sure because it's from this like outdated corrupted video. So there's some sort they didn't know that, but I found the clues. So I think it's what might be going on. From both sides of the view, at the end of related to the shocking moments that I think this might come to be of some sort. I might kind of cut it short and sweet at this point of what's going on right now. From an Afghani-Pakistani conflict of some sort of what's going on right now, as I know, yeah, so I found the Taliban is not planning for the build a caliphate, but it kind of makes sense for sure. But here's a little flat rundown of some sort. Yeah, the reason is a below should they invade Afghanistan at the end of some sort. But in Afghanistan they're trying to invade Pakistan back, but they're using their old Taliban force, so they end up to overthrow the Pakistani government. Yes, since you're not right, the Taliban is trying to overthrow Pakistan and then put the whole entire Pakistani Republic into exile. So this is technically what the Taliban is really are doing in Pakistan. Some sort they're trying to overthrow their government completely to form the Islamic Emirates in Pakistan. So at this point, so here's the thing one now. Here's what both sides kind of differential. There's some sort, which it does. Takes a little complicated view of some sort, but it makes sense. But here's something what's might be most likely will be going on. But stick with me at this point because this is gonna be very complicated, and it'll end up in very noteworthy that this will be an end of a strange moment within both sides. No, not only within you, but the end up as a member of the chat. No, some sort. Anyway, it's some sort. Is it some sort? Yeah, it's gonna make sense. Oh yeah, this is also sending to the upload to my brand channel, John Powell, on YouTube, or if not Powellcast on YouTube, it's I think it's now about to be renamed in the future. This makes sense, but if it is named, but just stick with that. But here's the thing one now. Here's I think it's what's going on right now, and this gets started with a two-part thing of some sort. One, I already discovered already, but while in my researching of some sort video, I found out Afghanistan and Pakistan might be doing two different things, but they end up doing the complete same thing. The way it is. Let's start this Afghanistan side. Yeah, Afghanistan really wants to overthrow the Pakistani government in some sort because it found the Afghanistan side of some sort. It seems it found out already. Pakistan does not have the federal funding or what's the federal funding? I don't think it's federal in Pakistan. My bad. So They don't have the mandatory funding and any type of funding for in the Islamic Republic and the Pakistan anyway. Pakistan's literally on scraping the barrel at this point. Did they kind of afraid to use civilians and soldiers in the future? Anyway, I know Pakistan does have nukes, but the nukes is not as good. And they kind of say well some sort. And then even after the recently India attacking the nuclear sites of Pakistan recently, back months ago, Pakistan has nowhere to even try to build their nukes anymore. So, which means, so that means that Pakistan might no longer even need the nukes because the nukes that they have is already out of date, busted, and their nuclear sites have already been bombed to shit by India recently. Which means India's Pakistan is no longer even capable of building nukes anymore, and even worse, yeah, Pakistan is it's just a skinny line between both borders of India and Afghanistan, especially they have both borders the size of it. So it makes sense anyway. So it really means for sure that this by law so the big complications. So I think Afghanistan might see the Pakistan government is being turmoil, but and also in larger crisis of some sort. So Pakistan is living in a presidential crisis right now for many years, and even they haven't. And in the recent guys, in mostly since the first couple of years of the Pakistan's independence, though, over the years, Muslims have been overthrown the government so many times in some sort by its own people. But it has never been the Pakistan overthrown by another nation, though. So here's the thing right now. So Afghanistan said they try to use the Pakistan Taliban to the end of overthrowing the government one last time to make it a permanent government, to make it one party that some sort in Pakistan in some sort. Like the Vietnam War prior to that, I think it's gonna be from the Islamic Emirates of Pakistan before the end of probably merged into one, and known as like a dual emirate, similar as Austrian and Hungarian Empire, known to be formed as the Afghani-Pakistan Emirate, led by the Taliban. So, which means the Taliban-led Afghani-Pakistan is going to end up being very strong of some sort. And I'd not be surprised if Pakistan's going to try to. Not surprised that the Taliban might plan to denuclearize Pakistan and make it some sort. But the problem is that this might part in the more turmoil that this might end up really is. It's when they can't make nukes anymore and they plan to denuclearize, which is being a lot more peaceful in South Asia. Pakistan did finally denuclearize thanks to the Taliban, but this makes sense. But it's kind of, but I'll not be surprised that this might come to be, because I know that either way, it's just the end of, it's just kind of way it is. So, on the same side right now, it makes way more sense in context right now in the same full story right now. Yeah, I found out the Taliban are trying to form a large area that end up spreads their influence at this point. To then spread for each powers in the north, south, and east and west. So they found out for sure for the Taliban. Found out for sure, which just seems pretty scary to know at this point. And it kind of end up being the truth. And put into complete context. yeah. So, and yeah, now to get to the Pakistani side of you. So for the Pakistani side of this, so hold on a minute. Yeah, now to get to the Pakistani side of things, so some sort. For Pakistan, some sort, they might easy. Despite these Libyan scraping the barrel, it's by the Taliban's on mobile. They can easily mobilize and overthrow the Pakistan government. But here's the one thing in Pakistan has what they end up with Afghanistan does not have. It's a full-fledged military. So yeah, technically, Afghanistan's taking filled with insurgents, which has no training in the militaries at all. But Pakistan does have a. They do have out-of-date weapons, but they do have a full-fledged military and they fully trained for it. Here's the thing one now. Here's the thing. Pakistan's might try to do the same as the Taliban's doing, but opposite. They try to overthrow the Taliban in Afghanistan, forming the Islamic Republic. Returned from exile to Afghanistan once again. But here's the secret now. They're kind of afraid that they might merge either way with Pakistan because the Pakistan government really does not trust Afghanistan to be independent either way, despite it have been overthrown twice. So which means, so not be surprised if they end up not be surprised if Pakistan might bring the final fall of Kabul before it merged with Pakistan at this point. So yeah, Pakistan might plan to merge Afghanistan into one, and these Islamic Republic to try to be better protections of Afghanistan Pakistan underneath Pakistani control. So which means, for sure, even better, this might allow Pakistan to the Hindu in Afghanistan to avoid Western intervention of some sort. Here's at least even better for Pakistan to end up trying to merge with Afghanistan. Because of the merge, this might give China more power to allow to try to, like say, if they can't use the sea next to the United States of some sort, China might end up move the Belt and Road Initiative, not only through, not instead from Kabachi of some sort, but they can use Kabul and to go right to Iran from there. So that means that if Afghanistan and Pakistan merge into this Islamic Republic, China sees this as a positive and might use Kabul as a trading post to Iran, which is not good for the United States if that happens. If Afghanistan and Pakistan end up merging in Pakistan's control, which is going to be good news for communist China, and even Xi Jinping, it could be called as mostly the exciting news for him. They use Kabul as the trade post of these Pakistan's control in Afghanistan, and these a merger there. They use it right street for Iran. This is going to be hurting Trump a lot for this also because China with more power means the United States is going to be weaker. So this is an horrible sense that this happens. So this is kind of makes sense of some sort. You kind of think that the United States is kind of aligned with the Taliban to try to take out Pakistan for this kind of reason. Because the kind of fear right now is, the kind of reason is Pakistan looking to emerge with Afghanistan at this point, even for real. It's of some sort. This might hurt the U.S. in the future because they end up trying to see enlightenment if the Pakistan did that in Afghanistan. So it kind of makes sense. Because I know what both sides are doing, trying to merge into one. So at this point, so technically, this conscience is not exactly for the current tenors of some sort. They literally plan to merge Afghanistan and Pakistan into one for both sides. So this is kind of trying to be a stronger military force. Here's if the Taliban got it, now China will lose Pakistan. It's some sort, but it's gonna be making worse for the Islam at this point because they have a stronger Taliban force, and the boss gonna probably be very scared for it because the stronger Taliban means that they literally can't. It really means that they'll literally probably be outgunned very quickly. So to see why. It makes sense to context. So oh yeah, also the stronger Taliban means the end of Ayatollah, I see this is taking a very outgunned and very bad for them. So it makes sense before they end up. They had to ask right now. So before ask right now. So yeah, so So yeah. Just let that sink in right now, for sure. Yeah, so yeah. So here's the thing about the end of the DTC more shocking right now is what is the end of both after the merger right now, what's gonna be the next plan is I think after both sides merge, I don't know, they might finally get into peace in South Asia at this point. So if Afghanistan and Pakistan merge, I know Iran, China, and others might not take on this area. So I'd not be surprised after Afghanistan and Pakistan merge. They might go neutral probably for another 100 years without for interventions and otherwise to allow it to turn around. So this is technically what they're doing. Afghanistan and Pakistan might be merged just to go neutral for over 100 years, but which is not surprised, and to go to it's make a only Islamic country to go pacifist for many years. So some sort, especially if the Taliban is going to end up planning that is the same way as the Islamic Republic would. Where they end up, it makes sense. So, it's to make it obvious so there's some sort, and to find out the context. So yeah, they end up with a better know before the time rolls. So, and it makes so much sense. Yeah, now later on, if we get a bit disease one now, when it gets started to talk about the future, yeah, the future within Iran, and then there's a funnel of some sort. Yeah. Yeah, I found out, I think what, I'd not be surprised by Iran's, my plan to do after it's been overthrown at this point. Here's the thing, it might go into 3 different directions, so the end can end up standby for this, for sure, because this will be taking a while. Here we go. will end up being stay tuned for this. For sure. Yeah, now I'm gonna get to Iran. Yeah, if Iran gets overthrown, I think this could be good for three ways at this point. The first way I can think is gonna get it back could be if Iran might go to like any Israelis government to the ask like a new Shah, or the Shah means king and this one some sort. Because there's another version that means emperor too, so it kind of probably bring back the imperial state in Iran, so some sort, which is like a kingdom and of some sort. And this time it's gonna be ruled by the king and then led by the most conservative some sort rules and some sort, but he's probably by no one else with some sort, which is kind of makes sense. Yeah, so it's the end of some sort, because he is some sort, and not besides bellies that try to get rid of any Olatola stuff, but he end up by de-Olatolized the whole entire Iran, and then they try to allow bellies that they take control of everything, and it's some sort to bring back democracy, of some sort. The second way is, I think the second way is, I think it's yeah, it's gonna be if Iran's want to form like a bourgeoisie socialist type country with the MEK, with probably form the MEK controlled as minister, but probably to the end up being the king of some sort. Yeah, this is gonna be from Islamic Marxist, at least a monarchy, known as bourgeoisie socialist of some sort for Iran. Yeah, so if we do not know what the heck that is, bourgeoisie socialism is known as a conservative socialist thing. It's of some sort, and usually it also bourgeoisie socialists also can form socialism underneath a monarchy government, so some sort, which is going to be Iran's going to be the first country to do so. Either way, it just makes so much sense in context, and to know this is what's probably all about for sure. And then know what we're talking about anyway. The third factor, and I think third way, and I think final way is gonna be mostly the most dangerous of the all. Is probably might end up planning to bring the monarchy to some sort back as soon as the first way, but instead of being gonna be the king, it's some sort they end up becoming the emperor. So Emperor Pelly. So let's think about right now. Instead to be informed in the imperial state, it said Iran's going to rename back to the Persian Empire, and yet the Persian Empire plan to allow to replace Shia Islam and these Ayatollah to Tsarism back once again. Tsarism is the end up being one of the ancient official religions of Iran before Islam took over, but then it became Shia is still the end of being powerhouse there. In Iran, it converts back to Tsarism. This might end the proxy war. It even ended the Shia and Sunni hate for good. So this point, so Iran goes back to Tsarism. This will end the tensions against Shia and Sunni. Also end the Cold War in the Middle East. And also end the proxy war in Saudi Arabia against Iran, and even end Israel in Iran at this point too. The Persian Empire will also be sided with Israel in the United States for real. Did it end up this well? in the end of some sort. And yeah, not be surprised that in the end Iran might abandon Islam for Zionism, and this will in the end cause major shift within the end of for the end of Iran's future in the some sort. If the Persian Empire does come back, yeah, Saudi Arabia will no longer hate Iran in the back of the Persian Empire because they don't because Iran's not supporting Islam anymore. Instead, it's gonna be supporting Zionism. In the end, which is kind of makes some sort. And hell, and those Iranians are in the Zionist government. At this point, in Zionist monarchy. At this point, this will became the head capital of Zionism for life at this point. So it makes sense. The Persian Empire is also the end of plan to be the end of aligned with mostly with the West is some sort like U.S. Israel some sort. The problem is the Persian Empire might threatening with Turkey, Greece, and even Italy. This is why they have past history there too. But this might be positive example for Israel, because I know this means that Iran might team up with Israel against the Persian Empire too, and they'd be against Palestine, which is some sort. Yeah, Saudi Arabia that might end up see the true positive is Shia Islam is gonna be gone. It's instead of Zionist government. This might cripple Shia's influence in the world. It's only the Azerbaijan and Bahrain, which is gonna be allied with the Saudi Arabians by then. So it makes sense. So I'd not be surprised that the third wave will happen. This might please the United States, and this might cause worries within Russia, because they have a stronger country in the south, and they might threaten Russia, but this might end up hurt China too, because of some sort. Because they have the Zionist government of some sort, this might cause more influence in India, and some sort, and this might cause more problems. So no, I know this some sort, but it's kind of the way it is. I think the two doors are gonna end up supporting this too, to bring back the Persian Empire from the dead is some sort, and the end influence rallies of some sort. But the problem is if Iran goes back to Persian Empire, is probably now it's probably the end up becoming emperor instead of a king. So, and then this will happen at this point. The third way is even better for the U.S. to bring back the Persian Empire, and then it causes a complete fall of Shia Islam, and which might cause a complete fall of the Houthis. And at this point, because without Shia's influence, the Houthis will fall, and the Shia Islam will also fall. Hamas will easy weaken and fall, and this might allow the end of Sunni the predominant Islam in the world. So which is very good news. So the end of for Islam, because they finally see the complete peace for Islam if Iran reverts back to the Persian Empire. Let's see why. And this is very good news, sure. So not be surprised this might happen in front of for sure. And that's it. Hope you like this video. At the end, it is like and subscribe, and otherwise, and see this will upload on the podcast media YouTube channel. So stay tuned and more updates from my own channel on Channel Pal. Joshua Catham YouTube channels is soon enough in the future. And then also for any updates at the end of some sort. And otherwise, I'm gonna say one now is, and see you guys next time. And otherwise, I'm gonna say one now. Well, bye for now.